Coffee, and I'm doing some updates. I decided against getting my camera out at the moment. I have a lot of stuff on there that I'm kind of procrastinating dealing with. I have some pictures and some videos from my trip to the aquarium over the weekend, and I just don't want to deal with that just yet. I'm procrastinating, basically. Um, so I want to do like a little update here on my webcam, which is there, and I keep looking at my screen, which is here, so that's why I'm doing weird things with my eyes. Um, so first up, I want to show off my new shirt, because it's not cross-stitching related, but it's awesome, and it is, this way, it is a Firefly Invader Zim crossover, because that is completely freaking awesome. This is from WIP Apparel, and I think they've changed the t-shirt sizes a bit, because this one seems a bit bigger than they usually do. But yes, that is new, and it is awesome. I also have a little stuffed dugong, which I got from Sydney Aquarium, which is now called Sea Life Sydney, because that's where I went on the weekend. And yeah, so he's really cute. I have the urge to name him Harry. I don't know why, it was just the first name that popped into my head. So, as for cross-stitching, the last couple of days I haven't done much because, unfortunately, the aquarium took a really big toll on me. Sydney Aquarium's pretty good. They're fairly accessible. There are a few spots that got a little bit dicey, but the worst thing was they now have 2 underwater walkabouts where you walk under the water and things swim over you and stuff. They have 2. One with a bunch of sharks and stingrays and stuff, and one where the dugongs are now. So to get there, you've got to go down. It's like 8 or 9 ramps. You got to go down and down and down and down and down. Go through the walkthrough, but then you got to go up 8 or 9 ramps, and then you go around. You got to go down 8 or 9 ramps, go through the walkthrough, and then up 8 or 9 ramps. Now, I'm still fairly new to using my wheelchair, and I'm not quite up to a point where I can do it on my own for extended periods of time yet. It's still very new, it's still quite a big adjustment. So, pushing myself up those ramps was difficult. I did 3, maybe 4 ramps, like actually pushing the wheels on my own, and then I realized that I could reach both sides of the handrails. So I was grabbing and pulling myself forward, and that's how I got up the ramps. But that, combined with pushing myself around the rest of the aquarium, and then pushing myself around for several hours afterwards around the city, it's, I don't know whether, no, it was the heat of the day, because it was a really hot day. There was no wind, it was just pretty humid as well. So it set off a psoriasis flare-up in my hands. The heat sometimes makes my hands swell up in certain places, and it gets really itchy and inflamed and painful. So the combination of that and the toll on my hands from just spending the day pushing myself around resulted in giant, swollen, really painful hands. So I couldn't actually stitch for a couple days. I do have a cream that I use that helps, so I just did that for a couple days. I iced my hands, I took it easy. So now they're okay. There's still a tiny bit of swelling in a few places, like around here. You can see they're still sort of red, just where they were swollen. But I also did my groceries today, so that meant pushing myself around in the wheelchair again. But I'm still really proud that I did it on my own. There was only one point where I had to get someone to help me, and that was because they had like a speed bump sort of thing. It wasn't really a speed bump, it was just like that sort of hill, mound, whatever, like a really big one, and I just couldn't get enough of a run up to get over it, so I got a bit stuck, and someone came and just pushed me over it, so that was the only time I needed help. And I was tired and exhausted by the end of the day. Didn't get home till like 1 a.m. and then I couldn't sleep. So, yeah, that was not pleasant. But it also means I'm a little bit more behind on some of my works in progress. A lot more behind than I wanted to be. So, yeah. On to those. So I have 3 new starts now for the year, as well as working on my other projects. I have some haul that I will attach. Oh, that's on my camera. Oh, I'm gonna have to put my camera. Oh, I have to deal with that now. Crap. Anyway, I have some new hand-dyed cottons from Fiberlicious. And I think that's all the haul that I have at the moment. I have some needle minders on order that haven't been shipped yet. Actually, I ordered some needle minders in October last year from a place called Stitchy Time Creations. I've heard nothing from them. I paid for them. And apparently this is pretty common. There's quite a few people that haven't heard anything about what's happening with their orders from October. I've heard nothing about shipping or anything. I've tried contacting them and I'm really pissed off because they haven't even bothered to reply to my message, and I am pissed because it was about, I think it ended up being about $20 worth, which, you know, you might not think is much, but when you only get, you know, a very small amount of money left over after you do your rent and your groceries and stuff, $20 adds up. So, not happy. Apart from that, oh, they're all the way over there. Zooming out. Yeah, reach. And reach. Okay. Back in. Okay. So, apart from that, I just got some more hoops from Spotlight. Just for stitching, because I've noticed that with more projects, I don't have as many hoops, and I need the hoops because I don't have Q-snaps. Because I can't afford Q-snaps at the moment. I'd like to, but I can't. So, I went to Spotlight, and I went there yesterday, and they didn't have any of the smaller hoops in stock, which are the ones I usually use for some of my small projects. So I grabbed 2 more of these larger pink ones. They're 21cm ones. And I grabbed this big one, which is a 25cm one, and I'm going to take the pink hoop off my Heaven and Earth design and replace it with the big one. So, or I'll put this one on my Victoria Francis one. I'll see how I go. Either way, more hoops. But when I got home last night, after going to Spotlight, the big hoop, the big blue one, didn't have this screw bit at the top. It wasn't there. And when I opened one of these ones, not these exact ones, these have been replaced now, there was this weird dirt sort of stuff on the inner hoop, and there were like bits of plastic sticking off where they hadn't been cut properly by the manufacturers and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to risk my fabric if it's faulty. So I took them back and I got them replaced. I checked over them and stuff before I left. So now I have hoops. This is a pain in the ass because it's a lot of mucking around. So, yeah. And apart from that, I bought a storage box. This was a 12 by 12 one. It was $12, and I figured this way, instead of leaving, like at the moment my Heaven and Earth one is sitting on the ground because I've run out of space to put my works in progress. So I figured this will help, and I can store at least the Heaven and Earth and my Arthur's project in here, so then they can't get any dust and stuff on them, and they'll be safe. So now onto the actual works in progress. So I will go with the Heaven and Earth first, so I can get it off the ground. There's a little bit of dirt on it, but it's alright. Nothing major. I have pretty clean floors. So that's all I've done on this so far. There. Tom Hiddleston used to be the right way around, and I went too far. There we go. Now he's the right way around. So that's all I've done, and I'm doing the mini Ravenkin by Selena Fennick. Haven't done much more on this. I got very sick of doing projects that just have black. Where can I put this for now? Move the needles back, and you can sit there. Magical. Oh yeah, I did this little one too. This was a little kit that I got with a magazine, and it's like a little notebook. And they give you the front page, and it had like the perforated, I think it's like cardstock But yeah, I just stitched the little heart. I got rid of the threads that they gave you, and I used Sea Dragon from Fiberlicious in cotton. I stitched this with 3 strands, just because I felt the coverage was a bit better. And yeah, I just have a little cross-stitch notebook now. Alright, so which one will I do next? Okay, this is a new start, and this is a freebie pattern that I found a few years ago. So, as far as I'm aware, there's no copyright on it because I couldn't find any. I had trouble actually finding another copy of this, but I'm making this for the quote stitch along for the Cross Stitch It's Fun group. And I'm stitching this in hand-dyed flosses. So I've made a start on it. I worked on this one a little bit last night as well in a hangout. So many hangouts. So this is where I'm up to so far. And David Bowie is minding my needle. So this one at the bottom here is Midnight Forest by Fiberlicious. This part here is Storm Brewing, also by Fiberlicious. And I'm also going to be using, what's this one? Blue Masquerade. And it's Electric Blueberry for this one. And this one is going to be given to my housemate because it's a play on lyrics by a musician that he listens to. So, yes, that can sit there precariously, but it can sit there. Alright, so then we also have... can I do that without the needle? No, the needle's going to be stupid. Okay. Let's just put you through there. Alright, so next we have my start on the Frosted Pumpkin Storytime Stitch Along. I'm going to be doing all of the frames straight off, pretty much. And that's what I've done so far. I've done the top half of the salmon, went down the bottom, and this is the top row. This fabric is Dark Fantasy by Color Cascades. It's showing up more blue, but it's actually got some greens in it too. So that's that one that's been started. And because this one is out of frame now, I have a needle minder right in her face, you know, as you do. I've started the first square of the Joan Elliott Mystery Stitch Along. So she's out of frame. I've finished the frame going that way. So this is on a Color Cascades ice dye. This is, I can't remember if this was 14 or 18 count. I think it's 14 count. But that is my little center square. So, stitched by Gothy, yeah. So hopefully I will get some more done on that soon. Again, I've got quite a few projects that have got black in them, so I've been leaning more towards the colourful ones at the moment. So my Tilton Craft, I did a little bit more on. I had to steal the hoop from it though, because I needed hoops. So this is Almost Time by Tilton Craft. I haven't done a whole lot more on it, I'm not gonna lie. But I did do, like, the way I've sort of been doing my rotation the last couple of days with the projects that have a lot of black in them, is doing a whole, at least one length of black, of 310, and then switching to a different project, just to kind of get some done on all of them. So I did some more, it's really awkward. Okay, so I did some more coming down. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is really awkward because I'm like doing opposites. Alright, so I've done more of this part here. Before I'd probably only done maybe that much, so I've done this whole section here. So, again, not much, but every stitch counts. At least that's what I like to tell myself. That goes back in its storage container. And then, my other new start, I have stuff everywhere at the moment. That's where that pattern went to. That should be in the box with the other one, as should that. That can sit over there for now. My other new start. Where did I put the preview patterny thing? Here. I should find that first. That was really nasty. I'm really sorry. Do 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 do. Where the hell did that go? Is that it? Nope. Where the hell did that go? It has to be here somewhere. There it is. Yes. Okay. So, my other new start for this year, 1st of January, started the Mirabilia Stitch Along that is on FlossTube. So, this is the one I'm doing. This is Emmy by Nora Corbett. It has the mirror. Other side! It has the Mirabilia stamp, so therefore it counts as Mirabilia. That's my final say. Again, this is another project that has a lot of black. I'm doing this on, this is 18 count, isn't it? Yes, 18 count, and this is Islands of Avalon? I think it's Islands of Avalon, or am I thinking of the wrong one? I should really keep the tags on these so I know what I'm stitching on. Either way, it's a Color Cascades fabric, and that is what I've done so far. This part will be filled in with straight up black, so this is her cloak coming out, and this is going towards where her arm and the bow arrow are, so yeah, that's all I've done on that. And there's a reason. So this is where I get really excited and geek out a little. So I've been stitching on Arthas. I decided to do some more on Arthas. At the moment, I have moved back down to this section on the side to fill this in. But I am up to, let's see if I can, here. This way. Okay. So this is where I'm up to with Arthas. It's really hard because I can't hold it and then see. Alright, so that's where we're up to. This little section here is Arthas's helmet. This is Syndragos' neck. Right? This line here, this is what has me excited, and I will show you why. I will explain. But that line means that I am up to, where the hell did I put that? God damn it. I really need to not have things lying all over the place when I do this. Okay, so that line means that I am officially up to this section here. Which means once I bring the sides up a bit more, it means that I'm past the halfway mark. Which, this was a project that I wasn't feeling super enthused about before because I thought I was taking way too long to stitch it. But this line means that I'm almost at the halfway mark for the outline, which is a huge deal. I've now been stitching Arthas for a year, and I was feeling really shitty because I felt like I should have had more done in that time. But then I was sitting there thinking, alright, well look, you read lots, you game lots, you were studying for 6 months full time, 5 days of classes, 9 to 5, so it's not surprising. And now it's just I have all these other projects so that I can work on something different whenever the mood strikes me, and this year's going to be crazy because there are so many stitch-alongs, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because you can start a stitch-along, but there's no rule saying you have to finish it straight away, which is great for me. So, yes, those are my updates, and I don't know what I'm going to work on tonight. Haven't decided. Yeah, there's going to be a hangout later, too, so I'll probably be in there and stitching. We've had to make the hangouts unlisted. We can't have them public anymore because we had a few individuals who were ruining it for the rest of us, basically. They were causing problems and trying to start dramas, so we've made them unlisted. So I'll leave a link below to the group, and I will Hopefully see you in there. Even if you don't join the actual hangout part, we put a link up to the YouTube part where, you know, you can watch it and you can chat and stuff. And if you're not interested in that, you can just come in and join the stitch alongs anyway. And if you don't want to join the stitch alongs or the hangouts, you just come in and just be like, hey, you guys, look what I did. I did a thing. And do that. There's no pressure to do any of them, really. The other things I want to mention are Fiberlicious have just announced a special Valentine's set that they're doing. They have a set of cottons, a set of silks, and they also have a few temporary fabrics. They don't normally do fabrics, so that's like a special thing. So I will put pictures of the cotton and the silk, and I'll put a link to the group below as well. Color Cascades has 25% off everything. That's where I get my hand-dyed fabric from. I put in a rather large lay-by, so I'm paying that off. The sale will go for another 6 days. It'll end on the 26th, and because she is based in Australia, that will end on the 26th Australian time, which I think will still be the 25th in America, roughly, maybe. I don't know. So there's 25% off everything. That's fabrics, that's charts, that's accessories, that's, you know, everything that she sells, 25% off. And it does include lay-by items, so if you don't want to buy a bunch of stuff straight off the bat, you can set up a lay-by. You can set up your own terms and stuff like that as well. She has all the details on her website. I will link her website, I will link the group, and I will link the lay-by page. I don't think, what else? There's something else. Right. No More Lost Needles, where I get my needle minders from. She's just added some really cute, like, chibi kind of anime designs. I absolutely need all of them, so I'm going to put a few pictures up of some of the new ones. I'll link her group below as well, because these things are freaking adorable. There are Harry Potter ones, there are Sailor Moon ones, Legend of Korra, which I was like, oh my god, yes. And there are some other anime ones as well. Anime ones that I don't particularly know. I think they were Naruto ones. I'm not a fan of Naruto, so I didn't really pay attention. Yeah, so I will link that group down below as well. And I will put some pictures up of the Sailor Moon designs that she just got in, because they are freaking adorable. I can't think of any other sales at the moment. I think that is it that I can remember off the top of my head. So, I will leave that here, and I'll see you guys later. So, I have to haul some new Fiberlicious flosses. So this is the first one. This one is Wisteria Vine. So this is a purple to green with some light lavenders. This one is Caribbean Carnival. So pinks, orange, blue. This one is Havana Cafe. So it's got some brown, some red, some orange, some blue, a little bit of purple in there as well. This one is Celadon Porcelain. So it's got the blue and the dark grey cream sort of colour. This one is Poison Rose, and I love this one. This is a black to red. Very gothic. And this one is Fantasia. So this one is orange, yellow with a lime green and a light purple. Sort of has some brown in there as well. This one is Botanic Garden. So it has some purples, some greens, some blues. It's a very pretty one. This one is Vampire Raspberry. It has some pinks, some dark purple, a little bit of a light purple in there as well, and black. I got myself another lot of Stormy Blue, which is a which has two different blues and a brown. And last but not least, I have Pumpkin Pasties. And this one's got some pinks and some light oranges and some yellows. So those are my new Fiberlicious hand-dyed flosses. The link will be in the description down below.